Happy Wednesday. I'm watching a Coppa Italia Napoli Cagliari Arsenal game is coming up. Arsenal Brentford and Cole Palmer's return. So just watching soccer um, right now. I just want to take a moment and tell you just what I saw from that Browns 49ers game last week. Uh, it did not look good whatsoever. Like Shedeur Sanders had a ball over the top. It could have easily been a touchdown in the first quarter. So I didn't think Shedeur Sanders was entirely accurate, but then it didn't look like the coaches put him in the best position to win whatsoever. Like 4th and 1 in 49er territory, you're thinking, okay, let's not make it the obvious run up the middle. Defense knows what's coming. They're going to be all over it. You could have had even a goal line package. You could have had play action and roll Shedeur Sanders out to the left. If you line up in jumbo with 8 offensive linemen, a fullback, and a running back, and you get the defense thinking that they're handing off to the running back, but then Shedeur Sanders play action rolls out, runs with his feet to the first down, and then there was this inane fourth down call, 4th and 1. Shador's kind of lined up in the like in shotgun, and then there's number 44 kind of lined up underneath the center. I can't tell if it's a tight end, but then he bobbles the snap. So the special teams muffed the punt too. It seems like it was all around sabotage of Shedeur Sanders for whatever reason. If it comes down to the coach not liking Shedeur Sanders, and I'm not in the locker room, so I don't know if the kid is cocky or not, or thinks way too high of himself. But I think certainly his career is being steered in the direction that his dad wants him to. All of this swag and bravado, all of that, I think, is coming from his dad. You know, Bronny James doesn't believe he's better than half the dudes in the NBA, right? That's all LeBron James. LeBron James was just living the dream of father, son, let's play out on the basketball court. Like, I think Bronny's being forced to do things that he doesn't want to do. I mean, from what I look at Bronny, it doesn't look like basketball he lives and dies for the game. He just has too many other interests. Video game developing, piano, Renaissance man, man of many other interests and talents. That's who Bronny James is. Now, Shedeur, you hear him like he doesn't even sound cocky or anything. Like he's very soft spoken in the press conference. It's like I think all this, swag and bravado. I'm going to take over. I'm a starting quarterback. All of that is dad. This is not Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is a fine young man. I think his career is being steered by his father in whatever direction he wants him to do, obviously. And they're looking in both instances, both LeBron and Dion are looking out in their in the best long-term future interests of their son. So basically it's easy millions. You get your easy millions, hey, it's easy for you to do whatever project or venture you want to do if you are already a multi-millionaire in the bank account. So that's kind of what's happening there, obviously. You make more than millions if you're playing for a power football conference school. But Shedeur, I don't think he's arrogant and cocky just based off of what I've heard from the press conferences. He seems like he's pretty humble. All of that, you can call Deion Sanders a arrogant motherfucker, whatever. But Shedeur, he ain't that. He ain't arrogant. He ain't any of that. He acknowledged you got to play better, this and that, in the post game press conference, post 49ers. So let's lay off the Shedeurs, over the head. I'm a diva. I want this. I want special treatment. No, all that is definitely his father, but it's not Shedeur Sanders. But can you call better play calls? Can you do read option? Is he quick enough to beat these faster edge defensive pass rushers. Is he quick enough to evade the pressure on a read option? He can take a hit play behind that Colorado offensive line. That's not the issue. He knows how to take a hit. Many of them young guys, they're afraid to get hit. Shedeur, he's not afraid to get hit. And like I said, he can't take the long sacks or whatever. I'm not sure if that's what the Cleveland coaching staff is concerned about, but he wouldn't have taken a sack on a 4th and 1. Got to call better plays for the guy. It does beg the question. Some of the drops, too, by the Cleveland Browns wide receivers. Was Shedeur Sanders sabotage, or was it just simply flat-out incompetence across the board? Why would Kevin Stefanski, was he angry that Dion declined his invitation to go out for dinner? But I mean, obviously, Dylan Brooks' dad didn't turn down the invitation to have dinner with Kevin Stefanski. Was Kevin Stefanski, did it rub him the wrong way to have Deion Sanders decline the dinner invitation? But I mean, you can be this head coach. You'll be like, hey, I'm the guy who made Shedeur Sanders a top-notch starting quarterback. So in that way, would Kevin Stefanski really sabotage Deion? Is he just looking for an excuse to get the hell out of Cleveland? I'm just sick and tired of coaching the Cleveland Clowns. I mean, that's a long-ass time to coach a joke of a team like the Cleveland Clowns and be stuck with Burrow and Lamar Jackson, right? And then a Steelers team that always just hovers around 500. That's not great by any means, but at the same time, it's hard to get out of the basement when you have Burrow and Lamar, and then Mike Tomlin never finishes below 500. Maybe they'll change this week. Maybe they'll change this season. But for like over 10 years, however long since 2003, Steelers haven't had a losing record. So that's kind of a hard thing for the Browns to get from under. Yeah, they only did good when Big Ben was struggling, when the Bengals were bad. When the Bengals got good, all that, it was the end of the Cleveland Clowns, as we know, in the end of the Baker Mayfield era, the scripted Cleveland gets rid of a good quarterback, Cleveland doing Cleveland things with Deshaun Watson. They're just they're a character team. Everything is already scripted, predetermined. They're a character team. The Cardinals are not a real team, too. They're a team of characters. They're scripted losers. They're scripted chokers. I mean, this is all fake soap opera. This is all a big hoax. The NFL is a big hoax. It's a big hoax year in, year out. At this point, I already put Packers and Ravens conference bets. I may have said Ravens Super Bowl. I think it's time to, before they play the Bears, to put in some Packers Super Bowl bets. It's either way. These two teams, one of them's going to win, one of them, but blink and cheat. Don't think for a second. I'm not going to apply the pressure to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. There's no greater moment for Lamar Jackson to win the AFC if there's no Burrow or Allen. Allen will be in there, excuse me. If there's no Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. You got to at least make it to the conference. Will Lamar Jackson get the Newton treatment, the Kaepernick treatment? Who else lost Super Bowls that was black? Okay, Jalen before last year. They haven't had a black quarterback beat a white quarterback yet in the Super Bowl. In the championship game when there are two teams left. So, Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love. And you know, the quarterbacks Lamar beats, it's not like he's going to be beating the elite of the elite, right? If Lamar Jackson makes it to the Super Bowl, I don't know if the Bills are going to be number 5. It doesn't look like the Bills are going to be number 5 seed. If they allow the Bengals to stay alive for another week, Bills are not going to be number 5. They can't play Baltimore in the first round. If Patriots are number 1 and Buffalo wins as a 6, maybe get Bills Patriots divisional match. I mean, there are many computations and many possibilities that are possible. That will be determined over the last few weeks. And again, if the Ravens are 4, another Harbaugh bowl. Jim Harbaugh and John Harbaugh, number 4 and number 5. The Chargers choke again the first round. I think that's a good script. Oh, they choke again. Herbert's a choker. The Eli Manning round. He loses in the first round, then he wins the Super Bowl. Blah 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 blah. So I think the script writers have set up the Chargers. I think they'll lose in the first round again. If they lose to Lamar, this would be a revenge game for Lamar if he goes up against the Chargers. And this is part of the, if Lamar wins the Super Bowl, whatever, they'll be like, oh, he didn't play at Burrow. He didn't beat Allen. He didn't beat Mahomes. It was a weak AFC that year. So that's what they'll say about Lamar Jackson. I don't know what will be made of as far as Jordan Love goes. He's going to win the scripted NFC. But even if he wins, I doubt people are going to look at him as a top-notch elite quarterback. Oh, he missed the go-ahead goal. He missed it. Lord Scott McTominay, he missed it. Oh, that was wide open. Just hit it on target. He didn't hit on target. Coppa Italia, that's what I'm watching right now. Oh, yeah, was Shedeur sabotaged or not? Let me know in the comments. Anything can happen against the Titans. The Titans are that bad, though. Anything can happen. Shedeur has to beat the Titans. Even if he beats the Titans, the excuse is already there. Oh, he beat the Raiders. He beat the Titans. He hasn't beat a real team. So even if the Browns win this week, they could win on the back of their defense and their running game. I think the excuses are still going to be there, or maybe the question marks that he hasn't performed through 60 minutes against even a half decent NFL team. So there will still be question marks even if Shedeur gets his first career home win in the NFL. How he will play against the Titans, I think that's very important for Shedeur too, with today's loud media landscape, that it's not about the win, but it's about how Shedeur Sanders plays. That a lot of people, that's what they're going to care about the most from that game. So he's got to, move the ball, throw it downfield, not take sacks, all this kind of stuff, not commit turnovers, protect the ball. That's what Shedeur Sanders has to do to get rid of the noise. The monkey on his back still there. Can he play in the NFL? Just have to beat a half decent team. And I won't include the Steelers, even though they're flat out garbage. And I've told you the Steelers were flat out garbage this year. It doesn't get any easier. Browns finished the season against the Bears, the Bills, the Steelers, and the Bengals. They could lose every single one of their games. This could get ugly for Shedeur Sanders if he doesn't get the job done this week, especially with the coach in a team that some people and I believe that he kind of is getting sabotaged out there a little bit. This whole thing is a mess. Mistake by the lake. No confidence in the quarterbacks. Quarterback carousel, musical chairs. Man, punching bags in the NFL, the Cleveland Clowns. They're the biggest punching bag. Them or the Jets. Them or the Jets, most certainly, are the biggest punching bag in the NFL. I mean, the Jets haven't made the playoffs for a longer period, but as far as overall dysfunction, the Cleveland Clowns, they're the most dysfunctional. Trade for a rapist quarterback, no production whatsoever. He was coming off injury too. This whole game of musical chairs, polarizing figure, Johnny Manziel, and then now Shedeur Sanders. I would force my way out of Cleveland too if I was any quarterback out there. I'd have no issue if Shedeur never wanted to play in Cleveland in the first place, because that whole city is cursed. Cursed. And the Browns' history went away when they went to Baltimore because the players went to Baltimore. All the success they had, now that team is called the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens won 8 championships when they were based in Cleveland, and they won 2 more Super Bowls after they moved to Baltimore. So today's Cleveland Clown expansion franchise is no different than 2 teams who haven't made it to the Super Bowl, the Jaguars and the Texans. They're no different. They're on that level with both of these teams. Cleveland, what a mess.